Really?
No, they're using it to put the fire out.
Yeah, but check the optics of it, how it's being broadcast and brought up in the news. Like, I think it's a move to a move. Like, now it's like,
they're trying to work everybody up.
Yeah, they're trying to incite people to do the same thing. If you see people getting away with it, it's an incitement to have other people do the same thing. Again, you do not have the right to protest. You have the right to the government.
The last clip will let all Americans know it's coming to a land near you, Paul. The last clip, even though it's in Europe, it's going to let all Americans know it's coming to a land near you.
And the main... The main thing we learned from COVID...
Yeah, they're just providing proper food for the cattle.
You see, the test that took place these last few years was that...
Relax. We can't hear you. Just wait for it to be over, man. Well, that gives a new meaning to grassroots movement, but I'm not going to support that because, again, you really don't have a right to go into someone else's property, whoever owns it, and start throwing fucking shit. And, this is, again, it's probably a closed McDonald's. They're probably doing photo shoots. I didn't see any workers or anybody responding. And now they're going to try to get a whole bunch of slaves to copycat it and say there's civil disorder and unrest. We need social credit. Dude, snaps the warthog creature. They'll say he's schizophrenic and paranoid. If he is, then I am too. I guess that's why we're going to share a cell at some point. And then I'll have to deal with him up close and personal because this is always a move to get people on TikTok to follow it and then claim everyone's disorderly and we need cameras and locked doors and certain things to get everybody into all their services. Because now we have retail theft. They're showing videos every day of mobs of African-American children or young people running into the stores, stealing everything. They're now chaining up the Listerine, right? So it's always move to a move to a move. We don't know who funded these people. We don't know who gave them the idea and the equipment. We don't know who told them, come on in and do what. We don't know. And again, the other side of it is how much of this is organic and authentic because in times like this, with reporting of news like this, with policy enforcement shooting people like this, it's not above the, presumption that all this could just happen, that people just go, you know what, fuck it. We're going to steal. We're completely demoralized and degraded. Degraded.
We're at civil war, right?
Yeah, we're non-essential. We're locked down. Our jobs suck anyway. Our relationships suck. Our life sucks. We're paying a whole bunch of slave tax and can't afford shit. Let's just act up like broken children now and call in more of it.
And JJ girl finally did say something intelligent because the end effect is that once it's all said and done with, they got to hire people to go in and clean that stuff up for your safety, of course.
Well, again, Wizard, I think just like
it's enforcing that commercial system for your safety.
Wizard, I really think these FFs exist. Just like Paul said, some of them are propaganda through pushing of videos that are made, so to speak, but then it causes the actual riot and to ramp up, so to speak. So it's real, but it's also being pushed through agendas in play.
It's my hop or lie hop, right?
Now, because once one place thinks that, there's civil war, all the other fucking states will start popping off with these riots that are pushed in a agendaed manner.
Yeah, they'll either make it happen or they'll let it happen. And you know what? Part of being a slave is it's not hard to make it or let it happen because guess what? If I owned a fucking CVS, I don't care what color they are. You come into my fucking area like cattle and I'm going to treat you like rabid cattle. I'm going to start taking you one at a time. I don't give a fuck what you're there to do. Oh, they're still property. Yeah, okay. So we're going to say, We're now in a culture and society where if mobs come in to steal all your fucking property and livelihood, you can't put a bullet in them, right? Yeah, sure. Not where I come from. Not the life that I live. You try to steal from me, you come onto my property and take from me, I'm putting something in you. And that's how it's supposed to go. Right? Oh, you don't have a right to do that because a human life is worth more than the property. No, my human life is dependent upon doing the service with that property. And if you want to risk your life taking that property, I'm going to end your life to secure my livelihood. You see how that works?
You know what's sad is I get what you're saying, but because of the deception and the lies and our corruption, it's crazy. I got this story I was going to send you. I'll send it to you backstage, but I'll tell you real quick. There was this woman that stabbed her ex-husband over 100 times and then stabbed the dog and then claimed it was she got high off weed that was laced, marijuana. And they gave her 16 months probation. Okay, that's it. For stabbing this man over 100 times, killing him and the dog. 16 months probation. Now, if you have a trucker that has fuel or food and ends up on a highway with a bunch of these fucking protester fucks that want to rip him out and lynch mob him in the street, basically, just because they're fucking protests of shit, if he decides to push that pedal to the metal and say, fuck these people, they're in a street, shouldn't be in a street anyways, that man still is going to be facing charges because how corrupt our fucking shit is. So no, the fact is this is so agended out, but the attacks and the corruption.
Yeah, it's the Asian people when they went riding like animals. They put a stop to it, and then they tried to criminalize all the Asian business owners because they were on their roofs taking these people one at a time. I don't give a fuck what color they are. You want to act like animals, you're going to get treated like wild animals. We're going to sit with fucking rifles on the roof, and we're going to take you one at a time if you come anywhere near here with bad intentions. Oh, look at these bad Asians. No, they're just regular people. They're real men and women. They just don't sit there and evaluate on statute, policy, and code. They're living in the real world. They go, oh my God, there's a bunch of rabid slaves. Go get the armaments. The time has come. You know, and then you give them a healthy warning. Hey, no one wants to take life here. If you come around here trying to destroy property and steal, you're going to be dealt with. And that's why you keep fogger too, gas fogger. Because if 50 slaves come in and you gas fog them down with that fucking spray, ask any corrections officer, you get a whole prison under control with that gas fogger spray. So you hit the first 10 people with that, everyone else is running in the other direction, right? But everybody's so fucking worried about everybody's feelers and what their life story is. And hey, I've had my own share of experiences. When we used to be at a certain point going around stealing, couple times somebody put a gun out the window. It was nighttime. We thought we had to drop. And a couple times somebody from the window, you could all of a sudden hear the sound of the gun and you could hear somebody say, you better get the fuck away from that car and move on or we're going to have a problem. And you just fucking drop everything and move on. Right. But the reality of it is there would have been nothing stopping that person from putting a bullet through me, thinking that I was on drugs and I was clever and cute, and they already had the fucking drop on me.
I put that article in your backstage, the marijuana, 16 months probation or whatever it was. It was incredible.
Let me see.
I mean, people are getting more for fucking...
So now we're doing this about reefer. The reefer did it. I mean, I guess it's certain folks at certain ages.
100 times, and then
listen. There's a fair bit of anecdotal evidence that certain type of brains, if they overuse certain type of cannabis at a certain age, are more prone to potentially different conditions. Right? I don't necessarily accept that or deny it. There's talk about it. Maybe there's research.
I've seen it.
It's not out of the realm of possibility that somebody could have
I've seen it personally.
Yeah, a chemically induced change.
He's like, I can't smoke weed, bro. Like, we just got out of fucking jail, and he's like, I can't smoke weed. I go crazy, and everyone's like, nah, fuck that, giving him shit. He was at some dude's house he never met, ended up smoking with us, and then just within a minute and a half of him smoking, the dude just literally grabbed an ashtray and threw it at this dude's TV. Like, he fucking freaked out. Like, and and to this day, I will never question people on marijuana, like how it affects them because of after witnessing that. But the fact is, though,
there's exceptions to every rule, man. That's what happens with environmental chemistry and brain chemistry and biology is for every 1,000 people who have a predictable reaction, there'll be one who will have a different experience or reaction,
Well, and the sad thing, I feel really bad to this day. They tried telling us, "Nah, man, I don't smoke weed because I trip the fuck out. I get crazy." And because of course we're thinking crazy off weed. I mean, you ain't smoking no meth, you ain't juicing up, you ain't doing it. Like, no, it was really ignorant of me at that time, especially when it comes to. But no, I just thought this story was very interesting because they did use the whole weed thing. But I mean, still 100 stabs, killing the dog, 16 months per whatever it was. I don't know 16, but very little time.
Killing
very
the dog. Time. So she killed the fucking dog too, and the guy.
Yeah, she killed the. Yeah, if you read the article, like she killed the dude and the dog.
Dude, I don't even want to look at that.
And blamed it on her weed high.
Yeah, I don't even want to look at it right now. It's just so sick and twisted. I don't need any more sick, twisted negativity in my world. I've practiced getting it all out of myself and out of my world, right? I mean, I already got to do cop shooting citizen slaves here at this point.
Hey, O'Shea, are you going to be leaving Vegas or are you staying up in that bitch hole still?
I mean, at the moment, I don't have plans to go anywhere, but people are throwing suggestions out.
Well, we still haven't seen you do a on-the-man street shit. Dress up, sell your pee on the street, whatever the fuck it is. We haven't seen you use the Vegas environment, as Paul was saying, to fucking do some shit, man. You should fucking come up before you leave Vegas. Pop some shit out. Be the naked cowboy out there. Do some shit.
Yeah, this past weekend they had a porn convention and a gun convention. I could have fucking got my way in there and fucking walked around.
Two things that mix well, right?
Like, why can't we combine them, right? Why can't we have a weed, porn, gun convention? Why does it have to be?
Dude, Brian could have sat at the fucking front, get right there with the table that said weed, porn, convention sign-up sheet, and have like piss jars there and filmed you talking to the people.
I think you just stumbled upon something. Like, it's never occurred to anyone to just merge all these conventions.
Wouldn't that be a violation of concealed carry, though?
But then the furries might get involved.
I'm pretty sure that's Unslavia, right? Now that I think about it, if I do Unslavia on the Ground Festival, it's pretty much going to be weed, porn, gun convention.
Yeah, but if you get the convention people, the furries might get involved. Weed, gun, and furries and porn.
I'm not down on that, bro. Long as everybody's healthy and safe and consensual, I'm open to whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna kink shame. Cynthia wants to dress up like a woolly mammoth and get her huge vagina fucked in the forest. I'm not gonna fucking. Who am I to limit that experience?
Fucking jizzing some black goo to fucking get the mammoth stuck in the oil.
Whatever, bro. I mean, listen, we're all human. There's a lot. I've seen some of these Asian women. They got this butt plug in with the tail coming out of it, and I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Kind of does something to me. I don't know. Maybe that's sinful. Like, maybe that's like unbiblical. You know what I mean? That might be sacrilegious. I don't know.
You should have you should have Snafu investigate that for you. And that reminds me, Snafu, how is your investigation report course going?
Well, we're focusing on other things right now. The optics are high, gas huffing Ian, still triggered, blah blah blah. But
I
wanted Brian to like do some Vegas shit before he leaves because I know he's still out there.
Well, yeah, you could help investigate for Brian, but what I was referring to is what kind of grades are you getting in your investigation course? A's, B's, C's, D's, what?
A minus, B minus, one occasional C plus.
Somebody's lying.
You talk about the clip that they said was an old clip? Yeah, we were showing what the farmer's been doing. They're still doing the same clips. But Wizard, how about we put it to the test? Let's let you go to a postmaster. Let's let you talk to a post office. Let's let you show us, even if you don't just mail one of your friend random, like prove us what you claim. Instead of yapping about it and talk about it, prove it.
In its time, in its season.
Yes, I'd like to see it. I'm not trying to argue with it. I'm not trying to argue with it. I just want you to do it in a genius way.
You're the scriptural man that knows things only come when it's ripe in its season.
Well, I'll be watching. I will be watching.
Oops.
But yeah, Brian, you should utilize the Vegas environment and do some shit, bro. You said you're stuck. I heard you earlier. Dude, Paul's been giving you fucking shit. He told you to go buy a fucking outfit with that one dude you met way back then. I've told you to set up a piss stand.
Yeah, do some shit like dance on a table or something. Sell some lemonade.
Anything, Brian. You're in Vegas.
Dude, that piss stand. It's a skit.
Think about it. You got a tripod, or just like put your camera against something and set up a piss stand and do a survey and have like Paul and Slavia, fucking little shit so people can check his website out there.
It's making piss.
I don't care. I need to go to the bathroom. I just need to go to the bathroom. I need to take a piss. I'm taking a piss.
It's just carbonated lemonade, but it's called Piz, and I just saw it like lemon.
Is there nowhere else to go with this broadcast ever but to urine and feces? Does it always have to degenerate and degrade completely?
Well,
I gotta thank some people, okay? Because I'm sure they're on their way out after hearing that. So
Brock Lesnar is into pissing, and Vince McMahon's into feces. If you haven't read the
I don't know anything about that. I don't need to know
the court documents that have been released, 67 pages. She claims the victim in the court, this lawsuit, Vince McMahon defecated on her head when she was being, and then it claims this Brock Lesnar asked for her to piss. And said, dude, those 67-page court documentation on this whole Vinnie Mac sex trafficking with the WWE.
It's funny. Please. You're a puerile cretin, okay? Let me get to the fucking thanks here. Urine, feces, trafficking. Does it have to be a constant fucking shake up of everyone's internal space? Just constantly.
I don't think Brian's trafficking with his urine optics. He's just trying to help nutting.
Leave it alone with the urine and the trafficking, please. How direct do I have to be?
Okay.
Pedro Castillo says, for 60 days till Humblecott, ... Paulie, fire, thumbs up, hand shaking. Thank you for your contribution, Mr. Castillo. My Latino angel. Steven, hey. Fucking rein it in. Show some respect and decorum, courtesy, please. Stephen B says, keep it up, Paulie boy. Been tuned in since you were on with Crow. 777. Thank you, Stephen B, for your contribution. I love you. You're the reason I'm not going to be homeless in 60 days. Go ahead, warthog creature. You were grunting?
Oh, Crow's a pogo, but yeah.
I don't know anything about them. People message me. They say, come on and do what you do and talk. I say, about what? They say, give me 10 things. I go, okay, slavery, genocide, slave trails, Shaitan, Saturn, conscious awareness, and resolutions on the ground. And then we go on and they just fucking talk and I talk. We don't prepare anything because you know me, I don't prepare. I'm in the moment. I'm in the now, man. I'm with the flow, with the truth.
Brian, since he's in the now, and we're here on Unslavia, maybe he could hit the streets.
I'm going to play. Now. No, you know what I'm going to play for you? This is what I got for you, Brian from High Impact Flicks.
Be a quote that I
fuck Brian. Food card.
Tired of it, but it's just true. Lysander Spooner said, whatever the Constitution may be, this thing is for certain that it's either authorized such a tyrannical government as we have, or it's powerless to stop it.
Snafu, stop it.
Case, it is unfit to
exist.
This
is why you're unthankful and ungrateful. Even though Brian seems to not want to talk to me anymore or doesn't like me anymore because I've been a fucking asshole in various ways, as you know, just gorilla creature. I'm a loose cannon. I'm a liability. But, if it wasn't for Brian from High Impact, hello. If it wasn't for Brian from High Impact, David Rodriguez, the boxer, Crow, and many others, none of you would know of Daddy at this point. You wouldn't even know of me.
I don't know if you could say that. The universe works itself out. Like, I get that that's how it worked out for you. I get it. I say the same thing about Fugtard or Alex Jones, the people I've connected. But then again, My life could have been different, could not, but the universe has its way of falling you into its place.
I don't know, Snafu. I mean, you weren't on any of those platforms, and you have 3 people who regularly watch your live.
Right.
So
but
while you say that, I mean, but then again, you are here with me right now, talking in the same room. So somehow you're kind of right.
I could call, like, I got Brian's dumbass number right now if I want to call his bitch ass. Fuck Brian.
Yeah, I don't have any, like, I don't have any, hey, fuck this person and that person in me, right? I'm like, hey, you know, if we don't see
Brian, he's not as bad as Foogtards or the
we
others.
We can't do this broadcast if I go to talk and you just yell over me. It's not a conversation. That's a non-versation. Hello?
You see how he has a little Jack Top Cop beard going, though?
Whatever, dude. I have no, again, I'm saying that I perceive that Brian kind of got away from me because I'm a little bit abrasive and rude and crude and lewd, and you know his audience doesn't really know how to deal with me. But I don't really take that personal, right? He's never done anything.
I think you're right that you're a liability in his eyes. It's not his audience; it's his sellout optics of I'm going to be.
No, it's not, because he put videos on his channel he didn't have to of things about me, and then I watched the audience break bad on him. And it then becomes, well, you know, I kind of like Paulie Boy. I kind of respect him, but he's a New Yorker and he's kind of abrasive. And, you know, we're kind of different people. We are, but we aren't, because they like to laugh at what I do. They know I'm right. They love to watch me talk that shit and do it with rapidity and fluidity. But at the end of the day, do they want to be with me or be seen with me or be known as the same type of person as me, in quotes? Probably not. You know, they have different ideas about how they're going to be perceived in this life and how people are going to receive them and what this life represents. You know me, man. I'm a cosmic gambler. I just don't give a fuck. I care more than the majority of folks, but I don't give a fuck.
I think the only issues I have with Brian is he stood by his Pogo pals when he knew criminal veteran charity fraud occurred 1,000,000%. And I get it because, like you said,
I don't know nothing about
he got rid of you or didn't want to work with you because he's unauthentic and he's a Pogo sellout in so many ways.
Listen, my opinion, I don't know any of that. That might be the case, and the devil does good sometimes. So he and others brought me on. They gave me access to a whole bunch of people, and a whole bunch of people had an experience with me they probably wouldn't have had.
No, I get
if it wasn't for them.
Foogtards did the same thing. Alex Jones, I get it. So I mean, I'm not gonna knock him like full. He ain't on our high list of fucktards, but he's still, in my opinion, fuck. But I get it. Play his video.
You gotta figure, bro, that everybody, like you said, is always going to wind up where they're meant to be, because there's people who are my kind of people, and then there's people who are whoever's kind of people, right? So if I go on his shit,
you said it a month ago, Paul, and whether or not you believe I listened to you or not, like, this is something I'm going to repeat that you said a month ago that hit me well. You're like, hey, you were talking to your audience really more than anyone on panel, and you're like, look, I get you fucktards don't like the fact that sometimes it's all drama or not drama or this or that, or you don't like the fact that I go with the flow. But if I were to do just like regular videos, or if I were to control it to make it more of a show presentation, I would not be authentic to who I am. And that's one of the things I do respect about these real open panels like you and OTW, what you have pushed, you know, because OTW is following your lead. So that's where I look at these other people who completely not only market but control the show to give it that hug a buddy, love a buddy, which is unauthentic. You know, because if he was truly authentic, he wouldn't give a fuck what you if people was abrasive or not, blah blah. You're still professional enough to work with, and especially so, like, for him to fucking cut you off, whether or not you're, you know,
again, you're doing a little bit more of a, again, it then becomes bitterness and resentment on my end. I'm not saying he cut me off. I'm saying we used to be in fairly regular communication. I'm pretty good at, like, staying objective about how folks receive me and what their energy shows and kind of what they said. And he pretty much directly and indirectly said to me the last time we spoke, from what I remember, that, you know, he thinks that I need some help and that I'm kind of an angry guy. And, you know, it was that rap, right? And I'm like, okay.
No,
I'm like, Ryan, I know this rap. This rap is, you think that I'm somebody who does some things that are valuable and respectable. You admire me, but you don't want to be seen with me, right? It's like the women who will fuck with me but don't want me at family dinner because of what it's going to represent to their lifestyle, right? So it just is what it is, man. You can't take that personal. Being who I am and doing what I do, I already know what I'm coming into with people. I go, listen, you see these aspects of me, and that's what I show here in these venues. There's other aspects of me that I don't hold back on. I do that for me and for the audience and for the truth and God, if you will, if you want to call it that, conscience, that force that I believe somehow works with me and is always there. So yeah, that's you do it for yourself. You do it because you believe that's where your value and power is, and that's what keeps you inspired and authentic. And I think that's what most people are missing here in life and on this metaverse. Is it doesn't matter how much money and numbers and whatever else you got and the content. If you can't be yourself at all times without regret, then there's your cage. You know, and don't tell me I'm lewd, crude, and abrasive and whatever for pushing boundaries everywhere in my life and making my whole life and existence a resolutionary or revolutionary act. Because there's a loop going on, like there is with all of us, the mandala. And I believe resolution is about authenticity. So I'm not holding back. I'm not pulling punches. I'm not going to be nice, kind, and polite all the time. I will be real. And that's all I ever wanted growing up, right? I wasn't into the nice, kind, and polite. I wanted the real. So the same thing that I want and that what I desired and what I found has helped me is the same thing I give away. So you could say you don't agree with that. You could say it's not beneficial and it's not a real solution, but I live authentically to giving what exactly it is that I would want or believe I need.
Hey, Paul, I think someone's looking for the link.
Link. All right. Yeah, that's the difference. And that's why a lot of folks have to do certain things. And I believe I don't. That's one of the reasons, because this audience, whatever that means, knows I'm being authentic and real for whatever that's worth. They know that the rest of them are not. They know the rest of them come on here, curate their image and personality, show you a little aspect of themselves, and keep all the rest of the shit hidden. So they're going to respect me more. They're going to trust me more. They're going to go, he's just like us. Just like the Tao says, because he knows not completely who he is, other people can relate to him and respect him, right? I've told you all from the beginning, I'm on an authentic journey here. I don't have all the answers. I'm searching for and or have answers for me and what I need to do next, if I'm lucky. So that's all this has been, like a Truman Show, real world conversation / monologue / documentation of the I am experience called Paul Enslaved. I'm not into fucking being a content creator and curating an experience to show you daily while leaving the rest of it out. There's no power in that. There's no inspiration in that. There's no creativity in that. There's no freedom and expansionism in that. It's self-limiting. It's old. It's boring as well, right? Guys come on YouTube and want to be like these fucking Bill O'Reillys. A talking point says, and show us one aspect of yourself in a suit or whatever else it is. I mean, where's the rest of you? Where's the rest of the understanding? Where's the rest of the experience? Then you give them that and they start going, did you see what he said and did? Yeah, all the shit you say and do when you're on your fucking couch alone and you keep it all the way real. Cut it out.
And with that, I'm going to go grab the nap that I was talking about earlier. So with that, you know I love you. I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back. So may God bless you and have a good night. We'll see everybody next time.
Thank you, Wizard Creature. Greetings, Jackie. Christian D says, inspiring work from Daddy's Little Secret. Thank you for your contribution, sir. Go ahead, Jackie.
I was just saying hi. How are you?
I'm well. I mean, I got some physical ailments, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I'm blessed, better than ever. I'm sure that my body will be better when I just do what I know I need to do, that I've been slacking on.
And it will.
Your thoughts, Penal Power, Brian? You got anything before we? I don't even think we got to breaking slave news yet.
It's good to see Jackie. We got to talk a little bit last night. But yeah, on that note, I don't think you've addressed at all the fact that, DeSantis is out, Vivek is out. They're endorsing Trump. They're backing Trump. Everyone's dropping out endorsing Trump. I mean, just like many expected would happen. And again, I kind of avoid and don't pay attention to all the politics, but it's hard to avoid that, obviously, and what seems to be coming down the pipeline, as expected by most who've been paying any attention, who have the discernment to see the obvious.
Hashtag very weird, Pineal.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure where you were leading that. If you were asking Jackie a question or trying to hand that off to someone.
Oh, that was more towards Paul, because he hasn't really. I don't think he's covered it with any slave news in the last week. But that's basically. It's pretty big news the last week. The fact that they dropped out at the same time. Yeah, it's.
Did you not just?
It's almost like it's synchronized.
Sir, did you not just hear our correspondent snafu with the news already?
Oh, did he bring that up?
Please, yeah, Pineal, please.
I don't think he brought that up.
Thank you, Christos. Christos finally coming out of his shell. It's finally happened. He's stepping into his own here, and he's advocating. Right, please. You're slow again, slow on the uptake. You're a day late and $1 short, and you're so selfish and self-centered. You think just like Snafu. I mean, ironically, that's how we know he just did what you're doing. Like, oh, you got to hear about this thing that I'm interested in. We don't really care. Hello, let's get back to me. Jackie, your thoughts? Brian, your thoughts on this? Getting back to me, breaking slave news, not repeating whatever it is Snafu just said for the same reasons. Basically, fear-based reasons. You're scared, aren't you, Sean?
I'm kind of scared. Yeah.
I know. That's the thing. Let's just get down to it. Just come here every day and just shoot directly at it. Say, Daddy, I'm scared. And I'm going to say, Sean, it's okay. I love you. I'm here for you. We're moving forward. We're doing what we got to do. And I'm going to pat you on the butt, right? Not like gay, like fully gay. Like that's kind of like alpha male masculine stuff, like baseball. Like to kind of pat you on the butt, and send you off to Ruby Tuesdays to stock the salad bar. Okay?
Papa, I'm scared that Warp Speed 2.0 is going to make the slaves go into overdrive.
Yeah, no, you don't. That's the thing. There's no point in being in fear. Just get faithful, do the next right thing, prepare as much as possible to have the rest of your life in a way that you can love to live it, and surrender the rest. Daddy's here for you as well.
Right.
Christos, anything? We got to get back. I'm scared of this Paul and slave guy. Anything, Christos, before we get to breaking slave news?
No, it's going to be leaning towards the miscreants too much. Kind of, we're inching away from that direction. So
I got important stuff here. Okay.
Yeah, please, can we get back to it?
Yeah. LGBTQ activists and communists are targeting Christian coffee shops. Quotes, it's spiritual warfare.
Drip Cafe, and you were with us a few months back talking about a really crazy situation surrounding the cafe where the Denver communists and other groups, LGBTQ groups and individuals have been protesting your presence there in the community. But before we get into that and what's been going on both the negative and the positive side of things, tell us a little bit about the Drip Cafe.
Dripping.
The Drip Cafe is basically an idea from our project where we're helping homeless people get out of homelessness, to break the chains that are holding them down with homelessness. One of those important areas is to have a real job, to build a resume, to get work experience, to get used to socializing in a normal setting and stuff like that. So the Drip Cafe was kind of handed to us from God in a way to be a part of that project so that we can just integrate into the Denver community and actually hire people in our project to get them that real life work experience through the Drip Cafe.
All right, whatever. Does anybody care about this?
People who are experiencing.
I don't really care about this.
Absolutely not, sir. Daddy.
All right, let's move on. LGBTQ activists are active. They're sick of the Christians. They're taking God's coffee shop. New Jersey approves pot smoking lounges. Well, this is exciting. Maybe the pathetic warrior can get down to one of these lounges and smoke some of that good shit. Fucking relax.
Are they LGBTQ pot smoking lounges?
Wow. I don't think there's any specification. You believe this fucking guy told me, put the weed down, it's not working for me? I go, no, you need to start smoking weed. Whatever you're doing is not working for you. These people are confused.
By the way, Paul, I just want to say hello, Fox. It's good to see a woman, not feminist, weaponized.
Okay. Thank you for noticing that she wasn't weaponized and feminist.
Weed in public, legally. That's on track to becoming a reality in New Jersey, thanks to the approval from a regulatory agency. So why are cannabis retailers not thrilled about this idea? Well, thanks for staying with us. I'm Corey Chambers.
I'm Arity LeBeau. Meanwhile, the state gave the green light for cannabis lounges, but the concept and the reality appear to be two different things. And James Ford joins us live in Jersey City to break it all down for us. James.
Well, look, let's keep this in mind.
I thought that was Steve for a minute.
Since marijuana became
Get past your fucking conclusions.
Use here in New Jersey, but over all this time, it's been illegal officially to be outside smoking it, vaping it, however it's consumed in any public area. So this new rule is meant to change that so people can get together and consume cannabis. Sounds like a good thing to many people.
That's exciting.
Kind of an asterisk.
New levels of genetic
Slaves,
have a smoke of marijuana.
slaves are going to be allowed to come together and fucking smoke weed. Wow.
Or lounges.
See, I told you there's some
new levels of pleasure. People go out to bars and have a good time. I think it'd be the same with cannabis. New levels.
There might be some spooky optics.
Owners more than the drinkers, right? Maybe a little bit more calm, a little bit more relaxed. So I'm looking forward to it.
Kevin Soriano is a cannabis consumer, and many like him may agree.
Yeah, that looks like Kanye.
Rules allowing for smoking lounges, as retailers call them, have some restrictions, including no food can be sold in the lounges.
Look, there's my
Here we
bitch.
go.
Yeah, I was waiting for all the rules,
And
all the
there's
rules and
no sale of
regulations for it.
alcohol or tobacco either. The privately owned lounges will be for cannabis consumption only.
From an operator's perspective, it's hard to make money on that. And to create that amazing environment.
Jonathan Bednarsh is the co-founder of Ripped Cannabis Dispensary, which you see has plenty of open space indoors and 2 parking lots outside where smoking lounges could be located, with food trucks on site for ordering in.
But by and large, operators are going to struggle to have the space or create a space if they can't monetize the space.
To put it another way,
who's going to
blowjobs
and set up a 3,000
I'm there,
square foot
Jesus.
smoke lounge when you can't make any money?
That's Brian Markey, proprietor of Garden Greens Dispensary. He agrees that the newly approved rules need revisions.
There's just too many restrictions. I think the state really hasn't ironed it out properly yet.
Now, owners like him are calling for the new rule to be revised, but that can't happen until this new rule is entered into the state's official register, something that's happening right now. We reached out to the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Commission to see what the prospects are for revising the new rule. They have not yet responded to our inquiry.
All right, snafu snap. So you and the pathetic warrior can hang out in Jersey where it smells and it's crime ridden, and you can smoke your weed now together legally as if it wasn't already lawful. Now you've gotten the pass. You can hang out, smoke weed, have a good old time. Fucking new normal, man. Everything's great. Thoughts? Triple P?
Levels of GMO slavery. I mean, it's amazing. We've all been waiting for this time to be here, and it's here. They finally completely saturated and infiltrated the market, and they basically run it. So They run the cannabis.
I don't know what you're saying, bro. You're cutting in and out. You're barely fucking talking loud enough to be heard.
Hey, Paul.
Damn it, Sean.
God damn.
Hold on, Snafu. This story reminds me of you. Mississippi mom charged after son found in Walmart only wearing a diaper in freezing weather.
Recap on that other story real quick.
Go ahead and fucking recap.
You know, it's funny though, that story you talked about is basically creating, because you saw the area it was in. They're getting rid of all these tent cities here in Arizona, Denver, right? They're trying to like, oh, we have these tent city issues and problems. And then they want to fucking create like a zone for hangouts. And you saw that homeless bum walking down that like alley right next to that pot shop. And if most people understand where dispensaries are, especially big cities, we'll just find out how some people are promoting the idea of let's create the tent cities as they get rid of it. Could be some money involved. Like set it up and then pop it out.
I don't know what that means. Anyone know what that means? Okay, optics are high. We'll leave it right there. That's all you really need to say, huh? What's the point of actually making sense? Take our border back. 700,000 trucks will take part in border convoy. Did we ever get to this yesterday? Did we ever hear about the convoy thing? You got any more on that, Snafu Snaps? I know you're our head researcher.
I mean, it's popping right now. Like, again, it is what it is, you know, and I think more people are starting to come up. They're sending actually sheriff departments, not just National Guard out there. We got so many agencies out there, and it's just I think they're setting up the FF. I think this is it. I think this is because again, this will interfere in everything, you know, especially everything.
So you're saying some folks might say that this is all about locking us all in and then doing slavery on us?
Well, yeah, I think some people think that, oh, we want to keep them out, but part of it's like, no, keep you motherfuckers in. I think people don't realize, like, you know, Canada's already prepping, and you know,
you're scaring penal power. You're scaring him again. This is why
I want them to be prepared. Get some satellite phones, penal power. Be prepared.
He doesn't have any money. He lives at his mother's house. It won't work.
Snafu's back with InfoWars. He's talking about the satellite phone.
I got the satellite phone. I got the Patriot prophylactic pack. The Patriot prophylactic pack comes with not only the condom, but the satellite phone. And ionized water. Comes with silver ionized water.
I don't think I was coming in
something like
earlier.
that. Something like that, you know.
Snafu, the LGB bar that you were talking about earlier, I think you were mistakenly thinking of that rebuttal bar place. I think that's the one you were thinking of.
Yeah, that's right. I think you're right. I think you are.
All right.
Not sure what that is. That must be some
very weird,
some inside joke or something. I don't know what any of that means.
It just means the optics are high, sir. So what does Daddy have for me that reminds you of me? Your son, your prodigal son.
Oh, yeah, the mom that was charged because she had a baby in a diaper in freezing weather at Slave Mart.
Pictures wearing only a diaper? Well, she had to do something.
This is how you were brought up, I suspect.
Tonight, and she says she knew she had to do something quick. Felicia Darling said something to the mother, as did a male customer. Here's some of the interaction.
He came in here without that jacket on. Yeah, he did. That baby just had a pamper on.
Whoa.
I can't. He's just an innocent soul. He didn't ask to be here. So I took action and I started recording her. Then in the video, she throw cold food on the baby. Yeah, don't do that. And he said, just look down.
This is Venus Cupcake's black community. This is Venus Cupcake's black community of Me Too, Karen.
Why is he laughing at that? The baby has no warm clothes on, and the mother's piling. Snafu, please. You act like you don't hear me speaking. The fuck is your problem? I'm going to throw you out soon. You got like another one of those and you're gone. Not going to yell anymore. Not doing it. Nope, not doing it. You shouldn't be laughing at that woman putting frozen food on that child right after she was being yelled at for the kid shivering. Like, Christos, why are you laughing at that?
just funny how
she's got the kid with no clothes on in Walmart, freezing, and then puts frozen peas and food on them. and they're telling her, why are you putting frozen food on the kid's feet?
That is
he's
fucked
already
up.
cold. You're going to
Well,
laugh at that.
Well, and then
I
Snafu's
apologize,
bringing
Paul.
up Venus, like
No, I apologize because I
conversation
missed those optics.
so
I was
that's
just
funny.
thinking Me Too Karen's going crazy, Venus expanded in the black community. I missed the fact that this bitch was throwing frozen items on a chilling cold child already. I just was like, damn, she's expanding the Me Too movement.
He's still laughing at it. He just laughed at it again.
Well, look, she's throwing frozen food at the cold child.
You throwing cold food on the baby.
It's unreal.
Oh, she's twerking too. Oh man.
Get him some milk.
Snafu, what were you saying? That this is just what black people do? What were you saying just before?
I said that Venus's Me Too movement is getting into the black community, the Karen Me Too movement, but I didn't notice the optics of her throwing. I know the Karens are crazy, but I didn't see her throwing cold vegetables at the poor child.
A customer in a riding shopping cart purchases an outfit for the boy and dresses him while the mother flips through her phone.
After the lady in the riding cart put the outfit on the baby, she walks out of Walmart and started walking to her car. A cop was walking behind her, and they arrested her and they took the baby. They took the baby and CPS was called.
26-year-old Cambria Darby was arrested.
So that's better, right? We have the baby taken from her and given to who knows what group of people, or that's
And
child trafficking, just another new thing.
Snafu, it's my turn. Snafu, it's my turn. What amazes me is that she's like arguing back and like has like no, like she's in the right and everyone else is in the wrong. That's what's amazing to me. Like she's like, so what?
Shaniqua Talcott.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, Snafu, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. He's fucking insufferable.
Bitches, you're a woman. Please continue. Tell us about these crazy Karens and why they're acting like this, men and women.
They took her baby.
Yeah, so now they'll take the baby, give it to foster care. The baby will get beaten and starved and raped.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll say, another job well done for democracy. Not like we haven't seen that before. All right, whatever. I'm moving on. Are we taking the border back, Snafu, or what?
The biggest thing of that story, look at what the mainstream media said. It said a Walmart employee who called to get the baby taken was fired, but they really didn't touch too much on her being fired. They touched on the story about the baby. Thought that was interesting, too.
Well, yeah, I mean, they'll burn everybody to avoid liability. They'll go, hey, call the cops on that woman. That baby looks like it's in trouble. As soon as the worker calls the cops, they go, yeah, that's a good job. You're fired. Because they don't want to have to deal with what's going to come. Again, whoever makes that call and then whoever shows up is going to be the chain of liability, right? And Slave Mart's not going to want to have to deal with one of their employees calling police and potentially having to deal with that woman litigating with Slave Mart, right? So they'll just burn everybody to avoid the liability, while also telling you they support you and that you should do it, right? Let me see here. We're taking the border back, Snafu. There's no way around it.
Greg Abbott refusing to give up control of the Texas border to federal officials, saying the state will not give federal agents full access to Shelby Park today. That ignores a deadline set by the Biden administration, which is today. Instead, Abbott is installing more razor wire following a Supreme Court order allowing federal agents to start removing it. Texas now receiving support from 25 Republican governors, all backing Governor Abbott's border actions, blaming the Biden administration for the crisis. Former President Trump wants to take it one step further. He's now encouraging these states to deploy their National Guard troops to Texas to prevent illegal crossings. Trump's vowing that if he becomes president again, he's going to work with Abbott to seal the border. Writing, quote, those Biden says let in.
Oh yeah, this was the same narrative from yesterday. we're sealing the border. So Snafu's right again. They're trapping us in. They're sealing us in like rats. So you better get comfortable. You're not going anywhere. I don't think you're going to be like Timmy or Boshane and go off to Asia. Escape new normal. It's not happening.
It's okay because Netflix just made the biggest deal with the WWE involved with trafficking, and we could sit at home and watch all these Netflix apps, and you know what's coming up at a time.
Yeah,
They're getting ready.
You heard
Digital
about
experience.
that? Shit's crazy. They're gonna start live streaming that shit from. Is it 24/7 or no? Or is it just? Is it round the clock slavery?
Digital experience.
Yeah, basically.
Ding,
All right,
ding,
man
ding.
Let's go. Man caught dragging body across the apartments. I want to see this one. They got video.
To identify a human body. This after a man was caught trying to dispose of it at an apartment complex out near the airport.
Now, the victim was wrapped in blankets, a shower curtain, and duct tape. News Channel 5's Aaron Cantrell
Is that a
spoke
crime
with
now?
neighbors.
Jesus.
Residents at Parliament Place Apartments on Gladstoneberry Road who want to remain anonymous are constantly on edge.
My neighbor's apartment's been broken too. I know several people that's been there that's done have people breaking in their apartments.
They hate that someone lost their life.
And he was treated wrong. And I feel that, when a person is dead, it's bad enough you have to deal with that.
According to the affidavit, Dominique Collier was seen dragging a male victim from the third floor to the second. An apartment resident told detectives they watched Collier push the body into a rain culvert.
It was my neighbor seen him coming down the steps. So the maintenance man seen him too.
Police found the male victim with a white garbage bag and backpack around his head, wrapped in 2 blankets, a shower curtain, and duct tape. Police identifying the suspect after the property manager pulled surveillance video and found the clothes Collier was wearing when he was trying to dispose of the victim.
The tenant we spoke with says he did not know the suspect that well, but he did know the victim because he actually helped him move into the apartment.
We all have somebody to care about us.
Residents allege drugs could have played a role.
The story around there is the fact that the man died from a drug overdose, but whoever house it was in was facing legal problems. So that caused them to wrap the body up and do all of the extra stuff.
Adding they see ambulances on the small property all the time. Nashville Fire and EMS tells us they've responded to the address 2 times so far this year and had 15 runs in 2023. Residents say the complex needs a lot of improvements and hopes police can get to the bottom of this investigation.
We might not always end as harsh as this did, but on a day-to-day basis, people are struggling there. People aren't getting the help that they need.
In Nashville, Aaron Cantrell, News Channel 5.
Well, police haven't released the
All right, well, there you have it. They're dragging bodies around now. They think they're overdosing, and they're getting them out of the way. That's old. That's an old trick, right? Hanging out, you're doing some fentanyl, someone overdoses, and you got to put them out in the street. Well, we don't know nothing about that. Part of the game, huh? Your thoughts on any of that? Disposing of dead overdose bodies so that you don't get in deeper legal trouble?
Well, at least they don't, they're not dragging them to the emergency room and dropping them off at the door dead. I don't know. Is that any better or any worse?
Maybe they have those boxes. Remember those chaos boxes where you just you just dump them in there. Like the generalized box that you could leave stuff in and let the authorities figure it out.
And then they check every once in a while just to see if there's something in there.
Yeah, like a dead drop box.
Security deposit back. They took the fucking shower curtain.
Right.
It's like those baby boxes at the fire stations.
Yeah.
They should just have dead body boxes around the neighborhood, and then light goes on, a camera will go on in a second once you leave the scene, and then they could send help to that person in the box, like the little baby, shivering baby at Walmart.
Brian, you're naive as fuck if you don't think those cameras are already on 24/7 the minute that baby's dropped off in that box.
All right, please, Snafu. More restaurants are struggling to remain open with rising costs. Hashtag new normal, hashtag digital experience.
Soaring overhead costs and a labor shortage are making it difficult for many restaurant owners to make ends meet. One longtime restaurant owner said he had to close 3 of his locations last year. Max Rodriguez has more.
It's one of the most difficult decisions for restaurateurs, deciding to call it quits. The Ruby Tuesday Hawaii owner says he had to close 3 restaurants in the last year. He says it's difficult finding staff.
We don't get much applications in. We keep up and pay, and that isn't the factor. The workforce isn't there.
He says the rise in minimum wage is also chipping away at their revenue. The Hawaii Restaurant Association says at least 5 other restaurants have closed in the past month. Lease renewals are also playing a factor.
Many times you will see when the lease comes up at the end of the 10-year term, the restaurant has to really do a lot of soul searching and say, what is my next 10 years going to look like? Are the employees coming back? Are costs going to start
all these
dropping?
brand sponsorships.
Restaurants with a smaller footprint and fewer overhead costs may be faring better in this economy. The food trucks at Ohana Hale Marketplace in Waikiki going from 3 vendors to 16 in a short period of time.
It's much cheaper than leasing a building. But one thing great about it is everybody in Hawaii wants to eat.
Well, there's no denying the overhead cost is lower for these food truck owners compared to brick and mortar. Their monthly rent is less, and they all split the cost of utilities amongst themselves. The general manager of Earth Aloha Eats says they operate a couple of food trucks and a walk-in restaurant on Maui.
The restaurant needs 3 people minimum. Here we can operate with 2 and do just as much as the restaurant can.
Still, there's an appetite for sit-down dining. Restaurants counting on Valentine's Day to help give them a boost. But even Nakashima admits his interest in exploring smaller concepts.
The way to go now is smaller footprints that are more profitable, that have less labor.
Max Rodriguez, KH1 News, working for Hawaii.
Well, there you go. I mean, I guess there's always a silver lining to the cloud, but the reality of it is folks can't afford to run a small business anymore. I mean, you can dress it up however the fuck you want. It's just merely more evidence of the decline of the civilization and or the economy because, we've said it a million times. Everyone knows that it's backed by nothing. It's inflationary. And the cost of living, of course, goes up and up and up while the wages stay relatively the same, pricing most people out of the Americana experience. And it's all by design and it's all engineered and organized. And that's why you got to be smarter than the system. Right? You got to be a little bit smarter than the device that you're using.
But as the man in Hawaii said, people in Hawaii do like to eat. Is that like the stupidest line ever? Like, of course, people like to eat.
They eat stuff there in Hawaii? Man, that's fascinating. I wonder if they fuck there too. They're eating and fucking in Hawaii?
No, yeah, they're big there. I mean, then again, America as a whole is. But yeah, Hawaii, I mean, it's kind of like, when you think about it, when people are like secluded to an island, right? I mean, what else is there to do? Even if it is paradise, they're going to... But regardless, it's probably the spam. It's probably the fact that a lot of the stuff they eat there is pretty extremely high calorie laden food.
All he was really saying indirectly is it's a place of nothing but consumption.
Yeah.
Right. To the point where they then start to consume themselves and each other.
Gluttony.
So like, yeah.
In other words, you nailed it on the fucking head, just like you said and she said. Small business, especially in the food industry, especially those who ain't following fucking policy and guidelines in the food industry, they're going to be weeded out.
Well, just like to open, they go, oh, it's great. Weed's legal. Yeah. Unless you want to like actually do business with it legally, because you're going to need a couple $1 million, right? Or you're going to go into debt with a bank in order to be able to do it. And a couple 100,000 of that at least is going to be fucking licenses and bullshit. And that's the way they want it. Just like opening a restaurant. Whatever the percentage is going to have to go on license, registration, and a whole bunch of other extra shit to make sure you're safe.
Right. And she's right. You got to look at the future, like liquor license, the 5-year, 3-year deals, the vendors, how many year deal, and like she said, I had to look at 10-year, small places like that. They did the same thing with the Cracker Barrel, I remember. And they tried saying it's racist, blah, blah, but then nothing happened with that. But we'll start seeing it more, especially when they start implementing more policy and guidelines on the food chain, which we're already witnessing.
Hey, Snafu. I think me and you are going to start to do an offline class where I'm going to teach you really well how not to say do, da, da, da.
Sounds
So
good.
speech,
I'm
you're
gonna be
going to
your
do
teacher.
speech therapy with him?
Da, da, da.
I am. I'm going to do that for you.
Can we add a blah, blah,
What?
blah in there too, Fox? No? Just do okay.
We'll see. Well, we'll see.
You're asking what you're saying exactly.
Yeah.
No one knows what you're saying. That's never a good response on a broadcast, by the way.
You don't get the
when
fact
the
that our
general
food
public
chains are
just
being
starts to not know
poisoned
what
and
you're
that some of these independent food vendors go outside and get the foods that aren't from mainstream marketing, where all the millions of chickens are shot up with their fucking steroids and their fucking God knows what, same with their cows and products. No, we are witnessing an attack on the economic and industrial way. And so when I said our food chains are being attacked, that includes these small businesses that don't comply to, the system. You're not
They're
buying
all saying they stop listening when you start speaking down there. Also
well,
not
they
a
can
good.
fucking suck my nut because half of them are cupcake little fucking crybaby bitches that don't come on panel. Who's crying? Put up one comment. That's you. The person crying probably has never been on this panel. You could put up one comment right now. Probably I could. That
Did
person's
you
probably
just
never been on this
indirectly
panel.
admit there, sir, that you have one nut when you said "suck my nut"? Or did you lose a nut in the fog of war? What happened there?
That's you.
No, I
Hey,
have
did
both.
you see the evolution of Talcott, by the way?
Oh yeah, that's right. You're on it. Now you're reminding me. The same people calling me narcissistic and egoic have gone through 10 changes of their complete appearance over the last 2 years. Again, another hallmark of narcissism. It's so hilarious. If you go back to, there's literally pictures of me in front of Big Ben at the UK on a family, white family trip. Every once in a while, me and my father would do some white people things, like go on trips and fight and argue the whole time. And I would do drugs on the street. Not that early yet. That was like Mexico one time. We went on a trip and somehow I wound up in a Mexican ghetto with kilo of cocaine in front of me and on 4 Xanax bars. So I've always had this penchant for like wanting to get in trouble or like just, I don't know. It kind of finds me in a way. But yeah, changing yourself 10 times in 2 years when I literally look like the same person I did at 12 years old. I mean, arguably you could make the case that I'm rather immature in that sense because I still dress kind of like a urban middle schooler in my own way. But whatever. It's the same person. It's the same me. Pretty much same personality, different information, understanding. Obviously, you got to learn and grow in this life. But no, not 10 different wardrobes, 10 different styles. It's amazing.
I personally thought
he's egoic and narcissistic.
When I saw it, Paul, I personally thought January through November looked like the druggiest of drug days with Talcott. Just,
All right, I'm going to bring it up because you did remind me. I did see it. And
yeah,
I
November
asked
through
him to do
January,
that
I
at some
felt
point.
he was fucking the opposite for high, and so were Talcott, I feel.
Well, yeah, because it's a good expose of like what the narcissism actually is, which is like a fixation or obsession with self and how they're received or how they're going to change to be received a different way or what status they're going to achieve. None of it's authentic or genuine or inspired from within. It's all about the other people and how they're going to be seen and received. I'm the God, I'm this, I'm that.
That's
and
you.
There is no evidence of that. Right, that is me, but it's not.
Yeah,
See, that's the thing, because it's all of us, but it's not.
Paul. God damn it, Paul.
Yeah, like I don't need to come on here in a fucking black robe, like a brown robe, like Friar Tuck, and grow my hair out and grow my beard out and then try to go brothers and sisters. I'm not playing a fucking part in a role more than I already am within creation. That's enough. That's good enough. We're all a character on the world stage. You don't have to really add on to it and make a game out of it. I mean, you can. I'm not telling you not to, but yeah, it's just fascinating. All the people say, you're egoic and narcissistic. If you ask anyone in my life, it's just been like this, pretty much just, aging backward. If you were to go backward, it's just this. And then you meet these people and there's 10 versions of them, not only over a lifetime, but in the past year. Let's get to this. It's fascinating content. The evolution of Jack Talcott. There's like relatable Jack, suburban Jack. There's like athletic Jack. There's collegiate Jack, student Jack, professor Jack, guru Jack, corporate Jack, stockbroker Jack. It just ends abruptly.
Okay, you know what's funny about that? I watched Jack's video that he posted of himself. I didn't see TCC's clip one that he did. I thought it was because Jack did it himself. The TC must have got
It's
it.
kind of like the pathetic warrior and the rest of them. They're like constantly worried about their appearance, how they're received. They'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll steal, they'll fucking twist, they'll project, and they always have to have everything in place. Right? Most of the time. Because there's times lately where Jack's like slacked on it, and then you just see like real Jack before he makes himself up into how he wants you to see him. I mean, I'm pretty much me. Like, this is me. This was me. You saw me in the truck, I'm the opposite of a narcissistic, egoic person at this point, because I would do broadcasts with dirt on my hands, wearing the same shirt for 2 days, out on the land. I don't need to have the fucking hat on in the basement to cover my fucking hairline that I'm not into. It's just that this is these people, shape-shifting, fake-ass motherfuckers who have to present the same way every day so that they could be seen as the character, or they change the avatar. This is how I'm going to be seen and received today. Because it's when you look back at the person's like habits and history, you start to see the revelation of what they're doing. Right? Like, okay, this isn't working. I'm not getting the results I want. Maybe if I dramatically alter my presentment, I'll get what I want. Right? This is what they're all doing, trying to alter themselves, their presentment, and their lifestyle to get what they want, not focusing on trying to get what they need. Your thoughts?
Okay, so I'm confused though, because the one I saw had that music in it, but just the pictures. So who did it first? Did Jack post all his pictures up and like with the music, or did TCC do it and then Jack took it and redid it? Because the one I saw was just the pictures with the music, like in a good light of Jack on Jack's channel.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, man. It's just, we're synced up, me and the TCC guy, because it's just it's what happens, right? If you start to come here often enough, you start to see things a different way. It's like why from the beginning of time folks would do a walk with certain people, because they want to see from their perspective. Once you do that long enough, you start to see the move and you start to see what it all means, and then I don't even have to tell you anymore. I don't even have to explain it to you, because you know self, you know what you'd be doing, and you know what they're doing. Brian O'Shea, what do you got, man? You've been real fucking quiet. Too quiet.
I got nothing right now. I was sitting here having a snack in Fantasyland. Sometimes I do that. Just get my head in Fantasyland. I forget I'm on stream.
Snacking. Snack time.
Okay, Paul, I put it here backstage. This is from Tal. By the way, Talcott's asking you to talk to him right now, live. But fuck that. Forget that.
No. Why did you do that?
Well,
I've asked you all over and over again. Stop. I'm going to not have you here. You're going to make it so that I don't have you. I'm not doing the push-pull power struggle game. Not doing it. You're
Oh, I
out.
know.
He's out. I told him
No,
a
I
week
know. I
ago.
just- I
I
went
showed
there
up
to
there
grab the
yesterday
clip.
only
And I
to
heard what
provide
he
a
was saying.
stimuli, non-stimuli. That's it. It was only
No, I
to
went there to
undo
grab the clip.
everything. You're pissing me to fuck off. You're talking over me. You're not letting me lay out what I'm saying. You're injecting fucking content and people and names that I don't need doing what we're doing right now. I'm not doing it. I'm not playing the game. He came here. I let him up. I'm not going to do what he does to me over there. I don't need to. Told him what I thought and felt. Let him go. Not going over there. Don't want to interact with him. He can't be trusted.
No.
His
I
wife and
get that.
child.
I get
His
that.
wife and child didn't block him indefinitely for no reason. Get a clue. That goes for
I was
me.
pulling the clip.
Hello?
I was pulling because he edited the Talcott clip you played.
I'm not interested. Talcott's a meme because he's a sick person. We're using humor to make light of what is a tragic tale that's going to end bad if he doesn't change himself. That's just where it begins and ends. And I don't need to have answers for him to find or create answers for himself. So I don't need anything with him. He's an interesting character. He's very disturbed and dissolute. Fascinating to observe. Interesting to interact with. You wind up having to care for him and endear to him, but you understand you can't work with him and help him because he's delusional and in denial. And he'll just project everything that he is onto whoever he's talking to and say, that is you. Doesn't fly. Right? So I'm just going to kind of leave it be what it is. Go ahead.
I was at work last night and I watched a short film. It came through my feed about it was like a true gaslighting, and it was like a little mini movie. It was like 15 minutes long on just playing out a gaslighting scenario, like as if it was like a real movie. But I was watching it, came across, I'm like, oh, okay, I want to watch this because people throw that word around so much, and I'm really not sure exactly like how it actually, manifests or plays out. So I wanted to see it, and boy, what went on earlier today was a lot like that. I was like, wow, I was meant to see that yesterday.
Yeah, gaslighting is when everything they're doing, they're saying you're bizarre for even seeing it, and it must be you who's doing all the bad, wrong stuff because there's nothing actually going on, right? So it's like, that's what Jack did to his woman and child for years, till eventually they go, holy shit, mom, holy shit, son, we got to get the fuck out of here. We got caught up in an extreme delusion with a man who's in denial, and he can't care for us because he can't care for himself because he can't see or won't cop to the truth, right? So, of course, they go no contact and won't deal with him because he's a gaslighter extraordinaire. He's not good when it comes to someone like me. I see right through it. But with all the broken middle-aged women you see in his chat, oh, he's wonderful. Just love bomb. I'm about peace and love, brothers and sisters. I'm the victim. You don't understand why work won't accept me. My wife won't accept me. My son. Is it everybody but him? And again, the same people who are attracted to that are the same people who grew up with that. And that's why they keep going to their own level. Water seeks its own level. So the narcissist will attract a bunch of broken victims to sit around falsely codependent and empowered, and they'll gaslight each other. Jack's a loving, peaceful man. My audience really supports me while he's poor and broke, while they're there to get the family structure back that they never had or replicate it and recreate it. They're all perfect for each other. And when I speak the truth, that should be obvious. They say, he's the gaslighter. He's egoic. He's narcissistic. I go, no, I don't have the relationship status that you do. I don't have the career status you do. I don't have the problems that you do because I'm ignorant and arrogant and want to project onto others my lack of reconciled subconscious material. So at a certain point, you just start to see it for exactly what it is, just like the pathetic warrior. Why do you think they all find themselves together in the same room? They're suffering from the same condition. Water seeks its own level. He's going to tell me my channel is gone, going away. It's not going anywhere. It's about to be destroyed. He told OTW the same thing while he's getting 50 views and then disappearing. Stop gaslighting us and projecting onto us your failures and shortcomings, because we all see it. And you speaking the inverse of what is doesn't change what is. You're just trying to change the perspective and opinions of people watching because you're a fucking manipulator. I don't need to do that. I want everyone to come out in the open. Let's get really real. No more. They're like, nah, that's scary. We want to keep gaslighting, bullshitting ourselves and others and hanging with other people who do it and projecting onto you who and what we are. Have at it. You still got to get off this screen and go be with yourself and live your life. And it's obvious you folks are miserable and alone.
And do you think for some of them it's not on purpose? Do you think it's part of just trauma coming out in that way, or protection mechanism? Or do you think it's fully just premeditated?
It's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both, yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to be seen to be wrong. Nobody wants to be wrong.
Right.
Nobody wants to have to admit that they're speaking about self when speaking about others. That's why I'll regularly refocus myself and say all criticism is self-criticism. The only reason I can recognize what's going on with you is because I recognized it at some point going on with me. There's just levels to it. I don't think I was ever, even on PCP and heroin, I don't think I was ever this fucking unrepentant, belligerent, and delusional. Never. I always was real. If anything, I was hurting myself and going, I'm a piece of shit. I'm a lowlife. I need to get my life together. I wasn't going around telling people who have a better life than me and better situation and better understanding how to live while I'm doing horribly. I was never that egoic and ignorant and arrogant. That's why I laugh when they call me that. I couldn't be the way I am and know what I know if I was as arrogant, ignorant, and egoic as you. Because you've never done the path and the walk. I have. The only way you do that is by reconciling or confronting your weakness, your failure, your loss and lack state, aka loser. When I say loser, it means you're in a fear of loss or lack state. You're not in a state of abundance and provision. It's obvious. It's why you're begging for cash apps to talk with me when you should just do that anyway. If you did it and did it good, you'd get to some fucking value, fuck slave. Still haven't figured out how their life works. Still haven't figured out how being a fucking man works.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the bottom line. They never had no strong masculine role model in their life, and they've never rebuked or rejected the false role model that they've had on both sides. They've all kept their mama's spirit because they came up under her, and they've not rejected their tyrannical fathers in order to research for what it means to be an honorable, good faith man. So they're acting out the same role their father did, tyrannical and egoic, uploaded with their mama's spirit. Seeking comforts and worldly pleasures with their desire that always leads to suffering and never reconciling with the truth of life on life's terms. This is one for one. This is 101 and one for one. It's the beginning of time. Always been the same. The spiritual text reveals all this. Doesn't change. These folks are just so Luciferian egoic, they thinking they can lie to themselves and everyone else and avoid the judgment. With discernment comes judgment. You can't avoid it. And your lying doesn't do anything. You don't convince me, and you don't convince the creative force, and you don't even convince yourselves. Most of you don't even believe what the fuck you're saying when you say it. I can tell by the energy. Why do you think nobody shows up to watch and listen to you? Because it's felt before it's ever heard or seen. They can feel, folks can feel when I'm talking and living that not only do I believe what the fuck I'm saying, it's all I got. That's the difference. Your thoughts, Brian, O'Shea, and others? Go ahead. We're going to wrap up soon. We got to get to a couple body cam videos, but feel free to comment, questions, comments, concerns, your own thoughts, whatever you please.
Yeah, like Salty said, I mean, it's a narcissistic cult of culture, the society, the programming, and without first obviously detaching, unplugging from all that, that's really the first step. I think what you did when you put everything aside and went to live on the land is possibly the key to, that led you to where you're at now, right? And I think that might actually be the key, really, is putting all the worldly things aside and just reconnecting, you know, so that you can, like you say, what's the word you use? Not recapitulate, but you know,
recalibrate.
Yeah, I guess that's not the word you use. I'm slipping on my vocab right now, but
It's
yeah,
not the
you know,
word I
just
use, but that word will suffice.
yeah, connecting back with source, you know, and forgetting all that
Recreate,
you.
I think, is what you were thinking of.
No,
Recreate, recreate,
no,
reform,
no,
resolve, reconcile.
no, reconcile. There you go. There you go. No, that's not the word. Reconcile.
Retarded, is that the word?
Yeah, yeah, that's the word. When you take all that you've kind of gathered and amalgamate it, reciprocate. You know what? I need a
Yeah,
dictionary.
I mean, dude, listen, it's a lifelong process, right? Life is like a long game process. So you can't pinpoint one moment of what leads a person to quote unquote enlightenment, which just really means a lighter load. You know, their internal and external life just becomes lighter, it just becomes easier to live and be. Like, so much so you find yourself kind of enjoying life and who and what you are rather than waiting to die. So there really is no mysterious conception to me when it comes to the idea of enlightenment. This is just about all pressed, repressed, depressed, or enlightened. You know, so one of the parts of the progress of the process of the journey is, yes, isolation at times, right? Reconvening with nature and getting away from the distractions and the false, um, you know, influences, if you will. So yeah, it's all part of the, you know, again, this is not Paulie's way. This is the way. Same way if you go to a monastery or any other spiritual quote unquote endeavor, they're going to go to the mountains or go to nature. They're going to remove the majority of stimuli and distractions. They're going to practice detachment with people, places, and things. And they're going to work on living a day, day by day, that is rewarding and fulfilling and value-able and honor-able and self-sustaining and all the rest of the able words that we talk about, as Tommy likes to say. Oh, yeah, there's a practice here. There's a process. There's a way of living, a livity, like the Rastafari will talk about. It's all the same thing, no matter where you go. They're all going to tell you the same thing. They're all going to tell you out there's Babylon and right here's the kingdom of heaven. Why? Because of the way we choose to live based on the perspective in the world, but not of it.
It's gonna bother me now, man. You know, I'm not gonna fucking trying to remember what the fucking word is. When you take all that you know and you kind of consider it and weigh your weigh. God damn it, dude. Reconcile. It's not reconcile. You know what? I'm gonna have to think about it. I'll remember right when the stream's over. That's what pisses me off. People who gaslight usually live. Indeed, look within.
All right, let's play the game now. They're going to guess. Reflection?
Recoil, no.
Recoil? No, that's not it. Jack's thumbnail already streamed is on panel with proper instruction mode reads people. I don't know what any of that means. Why do you all, like, you're all so, you all can't stand yourself or me so much that you have to constantly be in double windows and other places? You just can never be in the fucking now, man, as your boy says. You could just never be in the room with yourself and me and whatever's going on. You're like all over the place, huh? A lot of you folks just can't fucking sit there and contribute to whatever's going on or kind of contemplate on what's going on. You're just fucking here, you're there. What's this retard doing? What's this asswipe doing? Gives a fuck. You act like you don't know what the same shit's gonna happen today with Slave Cot, like it always does. What are you looking for? You want me to go over there? You want me to do the same thing we've done 100 fucking times? You know, like what? Where does this go? God, Oh man, Jack's over there with you. Yeah, he's trying to use me and suck off of me. No kidding. Nothing new. Oh wait, you know what? Maybe this time he was really here to work with me. He was all about love and peace.
And you ruined it. You ruined it.
Right.
You did.
Dude, if you put that billboard up, where would you put it?
It's you.
Where would you put it?
That's you.
That's me.
That's you.
Right. I'm always to blame. He's never to blame. He's never done anything wrong. I've destroyed his reputation and his credibility. All he's ever tried to do is love me and work with me. Right? I'm really a bad person, and I should probably go think about that.
Yeah. Today could have been the day.
Right. Today could have been the day where he finally got what he wanted that I really don't need. You know, it was narcissist like fucking 101. Today would have finally been the day where he doesn't check his ego and his delusion and finally gets what he wants by me changing who and what I am and what I've been doing. Right. Then maybe I could be just like him and with him. You know, because who wouldn't want that? Oh, wait. His career people, his wife, and his child. Right. I'm sorry. Sorry, I did it again, Sean. I got really judgy and judgmental and egoic. And I went to go look at the truth of the facts of the matter of everybody's fucking track record and history. Sorry. Let me refocus. It was about love, brothers and sisters, and peace, and saving the world, and ending legal secrets, and working with Paul Unslaved till he meets Antoine, who has more money and connections, doesn't need me anymore. Oh, wait. Yes, he does, because Antoine played you like I told you that day he would, because I can always see 5 to 6 moves ahead. You can't see the forest for the trees in front of your face.
And Sean, I'll bet you it's not an R word. That's why it's driving you crazy.
The word is retarded. It is an R word. And we already spoke it. There's a lot of folks here who are mentally, emotionally, spiritually, intuitionally retarded.
Well, see, but it's good to go back into nature and retard the programming, right? To retard the indoctrination, the acceleration of such through all the programming that seems to only escalate and get worse. If you pay attention to what's going on now, how much they invert things and add on to it, like it's absolutely insane. So it's psyops within psyops. It's like you can't even tell from the
retardation is available, right?
Right. It's a good one.
Live without sense. That's the new brand. Who needs senses? Who needs to be sensible? Who needs to be like discerning and understand self? No. Live without sense, brothers and sisters. The only thing you need is love. Yeah, that's what Ted Bundy said before he put you in the trunk. All you need is love. Just come on, get on in. Forget all that discernment and understanding of self. Checking your desires that lead to suffering, or at least directing them for the most beneficial outcome. Yeah, just forget all that. It's about love. Get in the trunk, brothers and sisters. And you just climb right in. Is it not the same fucking story over and over again? Jack's basically Ted Bundy if he's not good looking, not charming, and doesn't have a Cadillac with trunk space. So basically Ted Bundy, underachiever. Thoughts on that concept? Sorry, Charles Manson. Maybe that's a better. Without the face tats. It's Charles Manson. Hey, brothers and sisters, we're just going to hang out in the tent. We don't know why we're in the desert and can't afford anything. And we're just going to kind of work off love. And then we're going to find someone who's going to make us immensely successful. And you folks are going to go over there and have a talk with them. Squeaky from and text. You guys are going to go over there and have a talk with Paul Unslaved. Next thing you know, my blood scrawled across the wall. I'm a fat pig, says on the wall in my blood. All right, everybody's dead. It's a great movie. Go ahead, Talflix. There's got to be a Manson remake Like, there's got to be a Manson there's got to be something out there. Come on. Everything else is out there. They had that horrible movie with the green stuff with Robin Williams, Flubber. If that's out there, there's got to be something made about Manson. So go ahead and take Talcott, introduce him into the Manson. Please, Peanut Power. I'm giving directives right now. That's what makes this whole thing work. Go ahead and make a Manson video just to show that every one of these characters we substitute Jack as just works perfectly. The guy from The Shining, Jim Jones, the cult leader, creepy guy on the sex therapist fucking interview. Doesn't matter what you put this guy in. If the role calls for a psychotic, sociopathic, greedy, selfish, deviant, he fits the role. Tyrant as well, right? Jack Talcott as Hitler, 1 for 1. He didn't even edit anything he said. So go ahead right now. I want a Manson new documentary. Obviously, Jack Talcott will be playing Charles Manson, and we'll see how well that fits together. Your thoughts on any of that before we do the cop shooting citizen slaves bit, and then I'm out of here.
Sean, put a shirt on.
I did write a bit about that baby box thing. Let me see. So babies in a box at fire stations, huh? How about adult baby boxes scattered about that bums can dump their fentanyl fucked friends in without worry of law enforcement nagging them with an inquisition? I don't know. There's something premise there.
It's really morbid and depressing.
I don't know. I think I got to work on it. It needs to be a twist or something. Just kind of said it's more matter of fact information once again.
You know, I think.
Do you want to just roll classic Hot Flicks clips right now? Go really off the reservation?
Yeah, for sure.
Why not, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Play them all. Play his whole channel. or at some point that would be a great stream. Just saying.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Peterson one in a while.
I love the Peterson one.
Like they're all new again because you haven't seen it.
I know.
It's been months.
So running for president, this next 2024 election is going to be some interesting contest as far as I can tell. And the fact that you threw your hat in the ring, I think, is part and parcel of the whole show. Let's start by just exploring why it is that you decided to do this. And we should do that. Why did you decide to do this? And what is it that you hope to accomplish by making this run?
Brother, we're making progress. We made some plans, made some investments, and I've said this before, I became an unwilling leader.
Provide us with an update.
Leadership. It's not something I ever wanted.
I've got some thoughts about that, which I'll share eventually, but I would like you to lay out why you use that terminology specifically.
Whatever. There's lots of names for the position. All it is a position.
I'm really interested in your candidacy, because you're coming in from left field. You're going to definitely be a dark horse candidate, and it's very interesting. And God only knows how that'll play out.
So for me, I noticed what a leader was early on in my life. And to me, it is the example of like Jesus. They're kind of arrogant. They're a little, they put themselves up above someone else and you do what I say.
Now, I don't accept any of that, and I know you don't as well, but we'll give the devil his due. Now, there's a messianic urge that comes along with that, which would be expressed in modern terms as something like the desire of young people to save the planet.
Always put
That is the hope.
And so, why not do that?
Just give me a chance and watch and see.
Well, to be Christ, to be the Messiah, you have to face down the apocalypse.
I understand. And
That's
thank
dope.
you.
That's
You
dope.
have a sharp eye, and the sharp eyes and the sharp tongues helping us sharpen ourselves. So if we could find ways to have fun with this, and, well, we are having fun.
Well, it depends on how stiff-necked you are.
Okay.
Well, if you're stiff-necked enough, and this is no joke, and I mean this, if you're stiff-necked enough, then you face the apocalypse.
People learn better when they're having fun.
Okay, but that's actually not true.
Yeah, that was me.
Because if you can do
I did that.
anything, you have no direction. You need a sustaining meaning in your life.
Yeah.
That's a real indictment of the situation that we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
It's not only absurd logically, but I think it's tantamount to genocidal in its intent. So what's your formulation of the environmental challenges that confront us now? How do you construe that?
Can you tell me where this line of questioning is going? What are you trying to understand about me?
If the emergency you're confronting terrifies you so badly that you're paralyzed into immobility or tempted to aggregate all the power to yourself and become a tyrant, then you have defined yourself as insufficient for the job. You should be able to maintain a calm head regardless of the impending emergency, because there's going to be emergencies. And if you become a tyrant during an emergency, then you're a tyrant.
You think you're like some expert of me, and here you are, you want to ask, am I being interviewed?
This is what's so great about these is you know damn well that throughout his divorce and everything else, Talcott's been in various rooms with analysts and people who like can get a read on people. And this is exactly what he would do in those rooms. He's done it over and over again. Just fucking contradict himself, attack the person who's doing the analysis, and never provide any kind of answers for why he gets the results he gets.
You only have to ask
I can't believe that I'm involved with this person.
That's not true.
Well, that's the adoption of voluntary responsibility. Look, everybody falls short of the ideal.
Can you forgive me for being so stupid?
You have this overweening, prideful, and ignorant requirement to put yourself forward as some kind of planetary savior.
I have information you're ignoring. It's available for you to see. Please look at the facts.
But that's not really freedom. What that is subjection to the rule by impulsive whims. You really have to ask, well, just what the hell is driving this? And the only answer that I can think of is that it's something fundamentally predicated on envy.
Well, I've lived almost 50 years. I've done a lot of projects in and around the home. I've had business dealings in a variety of different ways. So to answer your question honestly, you know what? What's the fucking point?
It's easy to be virtuous by having a messy life and saving the planet. And then
Chuck
it's
is
simplest
broken.
to save the planet by concentrating on one thing. If your policy requires compulsion or force, it's at least suboptimal.
I didn't start with a goal to reduce the population of Earth, but God damn it, I'm there now.
I think that's probably true of organizations like the UN as well. Your goal as a visionary is to produce an image that's so compelling that people of their own free accord say, yeah, you know, I'd be willing to sacrifice to that end.
Stop assuming you know it all. You can stop being disrespectful. We can have conversations like adults.
All that's going to be disastrous for the planet.
You could have asked instead of painting this tantrum that nobody knows.
Yeah, well, kindness is the excuse that social justice warriors use when they want to exercise control over what other people think and say.
You're a fucking idiot.
And that's fine. I think more power to you as far as I'm concerned.
So, I asked you for facts. You say, no, I think it.
I think I've made my position on that clear
That's
already.
You misunderstood the question, and now I'm really at my limit with this guy.
If you just say what you think, well, first of all, if you're wrong, you'll learn.
Stop it.
And this is exactly what he would do. It's amazing. Like you could just substitute it for any interaction. This is what he would do with the woman and child, right? Like try to gaslight them, and then when it doesn't work because it's obvious it's bullshit, he goes, I'm losing my patience. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he's beaten on that woman and child a couple times. Wouldn't surprise me.
And I bet the therapist probably pay him to leave and not come back.
Yeah, you could totally see a moment when Jack finally gets in those modes where he snaps, like when he goes "fuck you" right over the internet. It's like
fuck you.
Never really seen me do anything like that. And that was just from questioning of his past and his situation. So he knows what it is. He knows he's insane, and he lashes out when he's called out on it. Right. So I wouldn't doubt for 1 second if he has a past with women and children at some point of putting his hands on them. Because I've seen him act like that. They'll get on me for saying broken bitches and hoes. I'll talk like that in my regular life from time to time to communicate an idea. I don't ever get loud. I don't ever get handsy or fidgety like he does, squirming in his seat like he wants to put hands on somebody. I only ever really get like that with beta males who try to act the egoic part and act like they're tough while they're doing lies and deception and corruption. That's the natural part of you that wants to stop evil from doing evil. And then you got to direct that and check that, because obviously you can't do harm to anybody. And it becomes rather easy to just live in faith.
And
But yeah, when I see folks, go ahead.
Can you imagine alcohol on top of it?
Well, that's my point. This is Jack supposedly sober day to day on a panel with strangers. Imagine folks who he's emotionally invested in, he's got his whole life with, and he's drunk every day. I don't doubt for 3 seconds he's put his hands on that woman and child, or thrown things, or acted completely violent, and that's why they won't deal with him as well. Not only because he's a gaslighter narcissist who's insane and loops incessantly, because he's violent as well, which makes sense why he joined the military, because in his subconscious mind, he thought, I'm going to use my psychopathy and sociopathy and potentially have to act out my violence in the name of patriotism. They all do it. All the beta boys who have hate and resentment for that mama and that mama spirit try to redirect it to what they think is manly. So they try to use their psychopathy and sociopathy to do violence for profit. It's always the same walk. It's always the same profile. It's always the same claims of being forced into leadership when you've been trying to crowbar your way in every organization to being seen as a leader, using force or violence or deception. This is why I say they got the spirit of their mama, devouring mama, and they got the personality of the tyrannical father. And it all comes together every single time with every one of these folks to make this in a different form.
Interrupting, please.
A, you shouldn't lead, and B, you should learn.
Okay, are you done?
Your candidacy is sufficiently unlikely if you don't have faith in your heart.
Okay. Now are you done?
We can talk over these issues continually. That doesn't mean that will result in proximal success at the moment.
So again, no facts. That is foolishness.
Look, no, it's not.
I'm comfortable with what we shared. I got the message out of my inspirations about the light and the way we can connect and share.
And there's a reason for that as far as I'm concerned, because male homosexuality is associated with heightened levels of creativity.
I've already decided to wrap this up.
Well, how much failure is necessary to make you think you're insufficient in your current form and you should be looking for what would rectify you? That's the practice of humility.
No, I'm moving on. Until you get past your judgment of me, you're not going to receive and accept what I have to say, because you're going to have this scrutiny.
Why don't we check in about every 3 months or so, and we can play that by ear?
You've offered me no actual help.
Congratulations on your candidacy. It's a hell of a thing to undertake, and you're going to be in for quite the roller coaster ride for the next 18 months. So I look forward to talking to you again. And to those of you who are watching and listening, thank you for your...
I am done with you. I don't care if you're in charge of this. He's not welcome back tonight. Anyone else?
Yeah, just superimpose every one of his relationships with any one of these back and forths, and you'll see why he's constantly alone and on the internet looking for validation. Brian, how do you feel about potentially being the next Jack Talcott over the next 10 years?
Oh, evolving into Talcott?
Yeah, like, hey, I'm a comedian, but I live in my car and I'm not funny, but something bigger is going on here. God's working.
I am Jack Talcott.
We're all Jack Talcott on some level. That's why I can joke about it. I was Jack Talcott before Talcott was Talcott. While he was at the post office somehow making a living, I was shooting heroin, living off my family, and convinced that God was working for me and with me. Pretty sure it was the devil. Pretty sure I was deceived. And then there's kind of everything in between, right?
You couldn't get anyone to listen to you?
No. Nobody was looking for me. No one was listening to me. They were pretty much telling me, shut up and go do whatever you're doing. Or go get a job. pretty much. Same thing they tell Talcott. Shut the fuck up and go get a job. And I mean, they weren't wrong. Like, who's going to listen to me if I'm like, hey, can I borrow $20 for heroin? Is this making sense? All right, maybe he's, I don't know. Maybe he's like feeling kind of awkward or something. So maybe we just do another one. One more or cop shooting citizen slaves? I like this one.
It's not me, brothers and sisters. It's you.
The birds chirping in the background, seeing the spring growth starting to come through, really enjoying the day. And the thought came to me as I reached down to pet my little kitty. I said to her, can you believe this is our life? You know, and can you believe that there's a magical, mystical God who loves us? Who's with us? She remained silent, of course, the kitty, but I carried that thought through, and I do believe that.
See, I didn't even have a cat.
Hey, asshole, mail something, why don't you? For all those people who were afraid of me, I'm just saying. There's nothing to fear. No one seemed to care whatsoever. I'm like, hey, let's get together. Let's end wars. Let's see what we can do. Many who have found their way into this panel of mine truly don't give a fuck about what I want. I'm totally alone, man. Like, what? What? God, it feels good to be me. Oh, who am I kidding? Nobody has cared to learn about me in several years. God help me, my life is a joke. I miss people. It's been almost 6 years.
Meow.
Go ahead, Mitchell. Take over. I got to use the bathroom.
Yo, what up? Hey, Jackie.
Hi, Mitch. Oh.
Jacqueline, maybe? I don't know. That's a wild guess. Are you a Jacqueline?
What? Jacqueline. Mm-hmm. Yep. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Actually, Pineal Power. You got my email address or something? I need to get a shipping address for you. And I got one more t-shirt for sale, extra large. $200. I'm just kidding. But yeah. Got an extra large if anyone wants it. But Pineal, where you at?
He's hiding without a shirt on.
My bad. Hold on. So yeah, you could email. Why don't you just email me at pinealpower92@gmail.
All right.
Or pinealpower23@gmail. Either one. Doesn't matter.
All right, I'll do that.
Oh
How
yeah.
was your day today, Mitch?
It was good. It was good. My dog's walking around better now. She ripped off her dew claw. She was struggling for a couple days.
No.
Yeah, she's doing good now. So the weather was 55 degrees.
Oh.
It was nice.
So Penal Powers buying the other shirt?
No, he just requested it. And I told him I'd give it to him. I just need an address. Because I was going to go to the post office on Monday. Check my PO box.
Address is 88. Oh wait, no, maybe I should have.
No, I probably wouldn't.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm not that dumb. Well, I'm so blessed, brothers and sisters. To what do I owe this gift and blessing and unexpected just fortune?
Just go. I don't know.
I love it, man. I love it, brother.
Go give a homeless guy a
You're
hug.
blind and in denial. Penile power. Right.
About some true problems that are happening, and then they'll take nothing. Oh, I heard you said this, so I thought that. And since I thought this,
oh no.
People are fucking nuts, man.
Wow, you're not gonna show the chat? You gotta show the chat too.
Right.
Jack, when I look back, I'm sorry to say, but when I look at bags, just the metaverse fights and all the back and forth with everybody, even with you sometimes.
This is the latest broken hose detector.
You weren't going to do this.
Makes
to
me
us.
laugh. Like, you can't take the experience and not
No, this is what
have
you
a
get
beautiful
now.
moment out of it. If you
Okay.
can't, something is wrong.
You know,
This will teach you not to be a nice, kind, polite person in life.
Okay. Thank you.
This
I
will teach you to
appreciate
just
the
be
lesson.
honest and authentic and tell people what you see and experience and stop
Alright.
letting them get away with their
that
nonsense.
is a lot of days to
Okay.
make
Thank
change
you,
in the
Paul.
world. And I know the momentum is growing.
As
Everything
soon
is
as
aligned
like,
for
okay,
a great
here's the
change
simulation.
to come
Soon as we
forth.
get,
Bryce, I don't know if we've met.
I'd
or
say
if we've
10,
ever
but I can't even
spoken.
come up with 10 people who aren't
do
completely
garnish
cowardly. So
knowledge
forget
from
that.
YouTube gurus, and I do
5.
actually
When the first 5
understand
people go over there and
many
remind
different
Jack that he's
philosophies.
completely
Are you
delusional and in
misguided
denial,
on
losing his house in
steroids?
60
Because I
days,
know I am not.
has no family because
Tell
he's
you what, if you got any
insufferable
questions,
and they
Bryce, it's
can't
been a
deal with
while
him
since
without
I
feeling
noticed
unsafe and
that.
threatened,
Feel free to
then
click
we
the
can
link.
get
We
back
can
to
have a
whatever we're going to do.
conversation about your
All right. Until then, you have to listen to him bullshit himself and everyone else with Tarek, who was my biggest supporter and fan
This
now,
one here,
who says I'm a cult leader.
Frank,
lately.
I somewhat
Right? It's always the
agree. I
same
also
cycle over
respect
and over and
Paul
over again
a
in
lot.
my life. If I have to live
We're
it
in
and
agreement
experience
there.
it, so do the rest of you.
He has an undeveloped leadership quality, leadership ability. I'll agree. It probably is natural within him, but oh, you know what? That's exactly it. Paul thinks he's so special and unique.
Yeah, I
because
don't.
he's
I say
strong
all the
and
time I'm
confident.
not
Well, guess
special
what?
and
That's
unique.
within
I say there's only
everybody.
one self.
That's why people are
verify
attracted to him. because
Literally
it's
verbatim,
something
word for
of
word. That's
him that's
great.
Yeah,
allowed
we're
to
just
fight
gonna
within
remix everything now.
themselves. It's a
Okay, I'm gonna
contrast.
go silent now. So until we get
I
5
think that's
people over
one of the
there,
many things
you
I
can remind
appreciate
him and
respect
Tarek
from him.
that they're broken hoes.
I
We're constantly
understand
alone.
leadership, and
They're doing sketchy
it is my
activity. We don't know
goal.
how Tarek makes a
Honestly, it
living.
is my
Can't
goal,
tell
has
anyone
been my
how he
goal to
loads
try
his
and develop
cards.
Paul
Some folks
into a
might say he's
greater
doing
leader.
fraud.
I've said this before.
That's how he's getting all
He's
his
got the
money to
boss
contribute on here that he
mentality,
brags about. And
bossing
that's probably
people
why the
around,
Fed showed up
telling
at his
people
door to
what
do
do
a
and
fucking
blah, blah, blah,
investigation
blah.
that he tried to pretend was about rights and freedoms, right?
Ooh, good one. Yeah, I didn't put
He
2
has
and 2
he
together.
has an incredible.
Well, no one ever
Every one
does.
of
See, the
us
fraud
has
detector
a
missed his mark, but I didn't.
level, right? And he does have a
Because I know what it looks and sounds like.
potential about him.
Yeah, I just kind of
But
wrote him off.
until he's willing
Yeah, they're
to
on here
humble
all day.
himself
They
to the
have no
fact that a
livelihood. They're
man
getting
worthy of
investigated
listening
constantly,
to rather
maybe
than
working off
putting up with his
charges.
damn
And they can't tell
insults.
us all where their income comes from, where their funds come from. It's a big secret. And they got to load cards to contribute. Yeah, that's what people do when they're scamming credit cards and doing fraud.
Right.
I'm beginning to realize how good life can be with God in my mind at all times. It's really not that hard either.
That's why it took him a month and a half to switch accounts.
I'm talking about having God in my mind at all times, love in my heart, and you want to paint the picture that I'm pathetic and embarrassing. I'd encourage you, I'm here with Daddy 785.
We have our first one, but that doesn't count. It has to be on panel.
See,
honorable mention. I'm here with Daddy.
describing what
Jack, you're
a part
pathetic and
of,
embarrassing.
man.
Oh wait, that's
What you're
you
a
now.
part
He's
of
saying
kind
that is
of,
you.
That's you.
That's you.
Tarek, you dropped off, and I didn't know if that was your connection or what's going on.
It was an accident. I hit the button. I apologize.
No worries.
But yeah, I heard you on my other screen. You said something about Paul, and I want to chime in a little bit. Like with Paul, I think, yes, he does have a talent. He is gifted in many
Another guy
places.
who
I agree
knows
with
me
you on
because he's
that.
been around me
The
on
only thing
panels
that
for a
I
few
see
weeks.
so
Another guy
far,
who
just
knows
from
all
my
about me is going to tell the
perception,
world
only in
about
my
me.
opinion, and I hope nobody gets mad at this, is I do see disrespect in certain areas that he should work on. And I also see that there's also, to me, some things also that he's sometimes promoting that should not be coming from any leader that he said he is, the God of all media, the way. Like the God of all media, Paul, would not tell his whole
It's still a
chat
bit non
to
bit.
be
You still took
named
it seriously
Daddy
because you're
something.
retarded.
That's right away a flag
God
for
of
me.
all media
That's
thing is a
cult
bit. I
leadership. I'm
told you
sorry to
that.
say this,
They won't
but
accept it even
that's how I
after
feel
you
about
tell
that,
them.
Jack.
That's how played on they are.
Brother, I agree. You know, here's what I'm
I
learning.
mean, I am
though.
the God of all media, though. Seriously.
Truth is the only thing that matters. And while the truth can be upsetting and unsettling, becoming upset
I'm
or
omnipresent in this
unsettled
metaverse, in this
changes
trutherverse.
nothing.
I'm omnipotent,
So I
omnipresent.
am learning and growing, practicing in my efforts to be more stoic, more grounded, more present and calm. There's a lot of opportunities for this world to change. Every day brings us opportunities to change what's within us and what's around us. That's really what I want to do. Hey, brother Tarek, we're coming up on 2 hours. I am going to wrap it up, I think. Promote Machine Lies, I think.
Thank God. So am I. Run, Jack, run. Go ahead, give the final words, and then I think we're out of here. Oh, we got to do a cops killing citizen slaves to satisfy the docket. Or else technically, I lied on the description. Shooting a suspect who pointed a gun at the cops. We'll get right down to it. Short and sweet. Warning. I mean, none of them are winning any awards for broadcasting or really anything else. You got no audio component here?
Can I just see?
There we go.
What you have? Okay, put it down on the ground.
Wait, y'all, wait! You're a rookie. You're a rookie. You're a rookie. You don't know. You're a rookie. Go.
Okay, stay right there. Do not move. Stay right there.
What?
Just stay over there.
Please, sir. Please. Please. Please don't do that.
73, I gotta go with the gun. I'm not doing anything. Look, I'm not doing. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. I'm not. I'm not.
I'm finna shoot your ass.
Don't
Mark.
shoot.
I'm
Don't
finna
shoot.
shoot your bitch ass. Don't drop the gun.
I don't have it. Look. I don't have it. I don't have it. Shots fired. Shots fired. The guy has a gun over here. Isabella. I'm okay, but I need backup.
What's
Your thoughts on that? We go from cops who gun people down without hesitation to cops who won't gun someone down when there's potentially a reason. You can't win, huh?
So confused.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck just happened there. Do you know where you are right now?
Yeah, well, he had his number. You're a rookie.
Right.
Oh, he had him pegged that he was a coward and he was new and he was going to run a train on him. But I guess he found out different at the end, right? Don't point a gun at someone if you ain't going to use it, because he may pull his and use it. All right, give me the final words. You guys are like, we're doing a silent film here.
Oh, I thought you were. Yeah, I thought you were on a reel here. My bad.
Oh, you want another one? All right, I'll give you another one. I thought you were doing your best impression of Great Stoneface or Charlie Chaplin, like that week that we did the bit of, silent films. Silent broadcast. SWAT officer shoots suspect after aiming gun at the K9's head.
He's out. He's out. Say when. Take him here. Take him here. Please get down. Please get down. Get down. Get down. Run it. Run it. Run it. Go.
Damn. Oh yeah, did have a gun. Fucking ridiculous. He's gonna point a gun at the fucking dog.
Oh man,
5 guns on him.
Looked like it was biting his dick.
I want to see that one again. Penile power.
Oh man, this is PTSD for me, man.
I want the slow motion treatment. Fuck is with this lag?
He's out. He's out. I can't see when. Run, run, run! Yeah!
They blurred it for your safety.
Fucking crimedy, man.
All right, give me the final words. We're gonna end on a high note.
Yeah. Holy fuck, man.
I got nothing. I'll catch you later. Peace.
All right, Mitchell.
Appreciate you, Mitch. Thankful and grateful and blessed, man. Apparently I'm receiving a gift, so that's amazing. I could go around and remind everybody, or maybe just inform them that they're slaves. So that's amazing. And I can, support a great broadcast, promote it, and I'm very happy on this day. I'm very, very, very happy. So thank you, Mr. Mitchell, and thank you, Mr. Paul. And shout out to the chat and everyone else. It's been real. Happy Saturn Day. I'll see y'all soon.
Thank you, Sean. That might be the next shirt gift giveaway. Instead of staff, it'll say victim advocate. Or maybe the back of the shirt says staff, and then the front by the breast will say victim advocate. I don't know. All right, folks, I'm out of here. Resoundingly successful broadcast, of course, as always, because of God of All Media was here hosting One Paul Unslaved. Continue to get triggered if you don't want resolution, reconciliation, or you can find the peace in the knowledge of self and the truth that is life on life's terms, not your terms, not your cult's terms, culture, right? Not your dogmatic religionist cult terms, life on life's terms. The only way we know that is by washing the slate clean of the beliefs, right? And the experiences attached to those beliefs. We have to have the authentic, genuine experience to cultivate a knowledge of self and a discernment to avoid being deceived in ourselves and in this life, which seems to be the case ubiquitously. There is a deception at play. There is a deceiver, if you will, at play. It is a spiritual idea. And the truth, life, and way is the only way to salvation or reconciliation. You can call that a Jesus Christo idea or a Christian idea. I think it's more of a conscious and awareness idea. With that, I will leave you now. Mazel from out west. And you know what? Tonight, I can end with a outro. Kind of like that energy. I don't know why. I kind of like the outro energy. So, yeah. Mazel from out west. TB's down there. We love him. We don't want to upset him. His religionism. If you could take... Uh-oh. What was that? That was my outro. Seriously, I'm out of here. A third mazel. 3 times the mazel from out west. I spelled it wrong yesterday, too. The kid put up mazel, and I just repeated it, and then I had to look at it again, and they were all telling me, you idiot, it's fucking... I know how it's spelled, all right? Yeah, he did it again. Look. He's doing it every night. And then I repeated it, and I go, dude, that's not even how you spell it. People don't know anything. You won't upset me. Let it roll. All right. Get the hell out of here. Go get some rest. Go get some sustenance. Be productive if you haven't been already. Don't be like Jack Talcott and the rest of these slaves. I'm out of here. If you could take religion and a spiritual process and make somebody activate a part of themselves that they didn't know was there, you got something there. And I think that's all of what we're doing in all ways, is trying to reunite, reactivate those parts of ourselves that we've had cut off or we've had dormant to try to survive in this sick and twisted dynamic. This spiritual practice, right? Certain things like I do here, just meeting with people daily, talking it out, doing a simulation, right? Imagining certain things. Maybe a form of meditation, you could argue. Will reform the perspective, will reform the way we think and feel and how we act and live if there's truth there that resonates. So that's the modality I prefer, because I think anything else is kind of a shortcut, and really it's just a tool meant for extremes that, you know, even then you still have to come back to your life and learn how to live it. It might just be that everybody should have some experience in their life that takes them out of themselves and it forces them to surrender over to something so they can learn the art of surrender in certain situations. You know, how do we learn to really live and thrive again? Cool to have structure, habit, procedure, process, certain levels of responsibility, accountability that lead to success. How are we going to love again? How are we going to live again? How are we going to thrive and co-create, have community, right? So I see both aspects in self, and I see a lot of those same aspects in others that come forth in these spaces. But again, it's a slippery slope in a world of religious dogmatics, when the other side of that is actual nihilist, infidel, worldly scum who really want a whole population on drugs. Right? It's a slippery slope, because one side's going to call you the devil, the other side's going to say, yeah, let's do that, so they can take drugs all day, every day, and claim it to be the all. I can't. That's why I can't support it and promote it, because I know what it will turn into.